on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? Let me make sure that we have audio. Yes, we do. What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland, and we are we are still using the YoloLive and the only reason that we are, sorry, I was in the process of cleaning everything. I'm rewiring everything, trying to make everything work better, and things aren't moving. I got it all wired up. I have my computer back here, as you guys can see. I can't see anything right now because for whatever reason, the HDMI is not going out of my monitor and it's driving me nuts. But I'm just gonna have to look at a little bit of everything. So I'm still gonna try to figure out why I'm not getting HDMI out of this system right here. But either way, we are using the YoloBox because, well, they came out with another damn update. Like, I was about ready to do the video, literally about ready to do the video, and then another update. And that's kind of what YoloBox does, which is why it's really hard to, hate on what YoloBox is doing, because they're literally continuously updating their program so well that it's that depending on when you do your review, who knows how much better, I would say, or worse, but how much better it's going to be. And I gotta make sure feels like my camera. So we're just gonna make some modifications real quick while we talk. One of the features that they just came out with is the ability to, obviously we've done dual streams before. Hold on. Obviously, we've done dual streams before, but right now, my biggest complaint, remember, was that you couldn't do comments for both Twitch and YouTube. And now they do. Now I can see everybody on the same stream. That doesn't change the fact that we are separating out the two. Tuesdays are going to be for Twitch, and obviously Thursdays are going to be for YouTube, but it doesn't change that fact. But it does make it a little bit better every time. So if I'm in a pinch, if I'm traveling, like, this is a no-brainer. Now I need to just change something on YouTube real quick, and then we can get started, because that's what we do here. A little bit of everything. YouTube Studio. Don't take me to another app. Account. Okay. YouTube Studio. And yes, it did what I didn't want it to do, was it took me to the app. I don't want the app. I just wanted. This is not what I wanted. I really wish that they would make it, let me just, to where I didn't have to go to the app by default. There are ways around it, but it's kind of dumb that I can't just, yeah, all right. On the iPad. There's no reason at all that I can't. So let me just change my settings to open up on here. I'm just going to get my computer. This is what happens sometimes. Let's check the sources and see what's. The good news is it looks like it's remembering the things that I used in my last videos, because one of the issues is it kept resetting all my parameters every time, so I have to go back in and change things. I think now it will save them, so that is good. But while we are just gonna go ahead and grab my other computer, that way it makes sense. Let's Let's just throw something on real quick. Here you go for all you Denim Prime Go fans, like myself. Hopefully there's audio. All right, found it. Bad HDMI cord. We're good now. The only I don't want to see myself. Why am I coming through the TV? It's not that I want to see myself. I just need to see the comments on the screen. So that was my only issue. Now I have that. We're good. I'm still hearing audio out of my TV, which is kind of annoying. And I'm still not seeing things, but I'm just going to have to hear a little bit of a delay. It happens. We're professionals. We can get through this. Mixmaster GNL in the building says he can't see his comments. Yep, it gave me an error. Are you guys getting errors? Let me know in the chat. So that's on the YouTube side. Because I'm seeing your comments. So, don't know. All right. Back to this. So, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I'm having a decent day. I can get rid of some stuff here. There we go. Honestly, the YoloBox just gets better and better, except for the fact that there's a audio which I'm gonna have to figure out. It gets better and better every time I'm done with it. Like every time, it just continues to update. Like I just turned it on yesterday, and it was like there's an update, and literally all the things, not all the things, but a lot of the things that I had issues with disappeared. So, which is why I keep holding off on the video. And I know that Mojax just did a video on his, and that's great. But for me, it's just tough. It's just tough. All right, there we go. Now we're good. All right, this is Tech Thursday, and that echo is going to drive me nuts. So let's see if we can turn that thing off. The good news is, at least I know that the audio is working when it's supposed to be working, but I can't hear. There is a probably like, I don't know, half a second delay, maybe a quarter. Audio. Where's my audio? Do you guys hear those dogs? There's like a dog frenzy happening right now. Video outputs. I don't have a way of turning off the audio. There's got to be a way. Oh, monitor maybe. Monitor. There we go. Okay. So we're back to normal. This is Tech Thursday. It's not really Wake Up in Cleveland because, I mean, we're still waking up, but like that was really for the talk show. So I think I'm gonna have to. No sound. Two. Two, two, two. Let me know if there was a sound too. Let me know if you guys were hearing sound. I just got a notification that was saying there was no sound. So let me know in the chat if there was sound or not. Because if there isn't, I'm just going to go ahead and mute it. Your delay is not noticeable. It's noticeable to me. Like, I kid you not. There is, I'm going to turn that off. That's weird though. It says that there was no sound going through. That must be a little bit of a glitch. So if you guys are saying that the sound is fine, then I don't have to have the echo. So that's great. So back to what I was saying before. Yeah, you got sound. Okay, cool. Cool. It's so weird. It just does weird things. So literally yesterday, it was Yom Kippur. So I was in temple pretty much all day long. And on Yom Kippur, you eat the night before, and then you don't eat after that till the following evening. First off, you don't want to do anything because you're hungry as hell. You're cranky. You're really, really cranky. And Love Sick in the building. What's going on, girl? So I had the cleaning crew was coming. They were supposed to be here last Monday, but then something happened. So then they ended up pushing it to the following week. So worst day to like have to have people cleaning your house and you're hungry and everything's annoying. And my kid is now finally driving. So I had to take him on a drive and it was a bad day, but it was a fine day. But as I'm cleaning out my studio, the one thing that I've just been completely frustrated with is all the cords everywhere. You know, we've been building this office, this studio since 2020. And you know, something new comes up and you put that out and you throw something else to the side and something else new comes out and you throw something else out. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm looking down at the floor because the cleaning crew does have to clean the floor and, you know, mop the floor and all that stuff. And I'm looking at the floor going, they can't clean half the stuff in my office because there's cords everywhere. Everywhere. So I just took the time to start reorganizing. And I had reorganized assuming that like the YoloBox was going to be kind of a secondary box because I've gone back to OBS, which I do like. And one of the things that I do like about it is the fact I can record on the YoloBox and just like I can record in OBS. For whatever reason, it feels like YoloBox, when you're recording, only when you're recording, adds a lot of stress to the system. So because of that, I think I get small little weird glitches. Turn on. There we go. Not that really makes a difference. So I get all these little glitches and it just kind of annoys me. But I like to record it because, well, you know, I like to repost the audio, the videos on my IG channel. By the way, if you guys aren't following me on IG, you guys are doing the wrong thing. I need everybody to follow me on IG because, well, that's what we do. In case you guys didn't know what my IG is, Cleveland Terry with an underscore. I'm also on Twitch, so follow me there too. But I do most of my damage on IG. Anything that cannot be shown on YouTube. There's a lot of content that does not go on YouTube. A lot of content. I put it on IG, and like I have one today. I had one the day before, and the day before that. A lot of comedy. I mean, I like to call it comedy. You guys call it whatever you want, but I call it comedy. And there's a lot of that. So yeah, make sure that you guys are following me there. And if you guys are on the Twitch side, the money shot is on YouTube. So for you Twitch people, make sure you are following me both on YouTube and Instagram. That's the key here, guys. I'm trying to make sure my numbers are continuously increasing, especially my IG. I want to get up to 10K. I'm at like 8 8,900 and change. So this is a push to 10K. Also on my, I'm right at about 39K, I think, on YouTube. So we're gonna try to make that push to 50. I got some things coming out in the next few. Well, I have a video coming out. Let's say Thursday. I got a lot of stuff going on. I would do it today, but I'm on J Book Show this afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you guys check Jay's show out. I believe he airs it on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. But J Book, you want to make sure you're following him so you can hear what we're talking about, which I have no idea about, but that's okay. And so that's the one thing. But and now we're trying to figure out. We just had an MC call out for this weekend. The joy of owning a multi-op. You think everything's good. You know, you panic and you stress out because there's so many parties that just keep popping up. You finally get it to where everything's great. All the positions are filled for the weekend. You're good. And then you get somebody that tells you, oh, I can't work the Thursday before the event on Saturday. Now you got to figure out how you're going to get it done. I mean, in all honesty, we're so strapped because of the amount of parties we have that I'd be okay if the guy just stood there like a scarecrow. Like, that's how bad it is. And we have no more options. So we are a little bit in panic mode. Let me see if my partner, I know the conversation started like right before I got on the show. So I have not looked anymore. Yeah. Yeah. So now we're in panic mode. That's the joy of running your own business. Now, normally, if this were a regular situation and like we had nobody else to do it, then I would MC. But the problem is the client, I have to be on this client's party and their expectations are way, way high. So I can't even get around it. Like there's no option here. So, yeah, now we're pulling people off the bench. It's a bad time to not be working. Okay. But having said that, I know there are people out there that want to talk. And take a few gigs. I need an MC though. That's a person on the microphone that's in the crowd and, you know, dancing and performing. That's the difference. DJs, yes, we can chat about that. But in all honesty, like for me, my people kind of need to be consistent because there is a way that we do things. In a pinch, if I have to send somebody, but like I never like sending DJs that don't know what we do. Is it difficult to find people right now? Yeah, it's difficult because well, there's two reasons why it's difficult. First, a lot of people just, they don't want to work. And if they do want to work, they want to work for such a high pay that it becomes completely unrealistic to have them work, consistently anyway. And we're not trying to bring people on that can't work consistently. I love emceeing. You may love emceeing. I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way because I've never seen the real DJ Dark Knight MC or anything like that. But history has proven that anytime somebody's like, "Oh, I'm an MC, I'm this," and then we put them on through what we do, and it's like, "Oh, you're not the MC that you think you are," and that's no disrespect to anybody on here that's an MC. I'm just saying that a lot of people talk on microphones, and they're they have a nice demeanor and they haven't had any issues, and they're automatically like a great MC. But the reality is, MCing is a lot more, especially for what we do. It's just it's one of those things. It's hard to explain, but I've yet to like see an MC that's a legitimate MC that gets on a microphone for a bar mitzvah and actually can kill it. Yeah. Look, and some of this is my fault. I mean, I am not going to get mad at anybody that wants to make more money. Like, that's never going to come out of my mouth. You got to do what you got to do. So if you need to make more money, fair enough. I spent a great deal of time talking about how everybody should be raising their rates. So it stands to reason that somebody's going to say, well, I should raise my rate too. Uh, so so sorry, I'm reading comments. So I get it, but that doesn't mean that just because you want more money that that um you are operating within my budget, my operating cost, you know. So you can price yourself out of business. We know this. The question is never the question is never should you or should you not price yourself out of whatever, demographic you're in. The question is whether um you can put yourself into a higher bracket, because there's no sense in pricing yourself out, raising your rates, and then now the lower people are like, oh well, we don't want you, but then the higher people are like, well, we don't want you either. So now you're just, up shit's creek. um so I was watching why am I drawing a blank right now? um Rick Webb's podcast. um and they were talking, DJ Bar was on, and they were talking about raising your rates, and they're like, we raised our rates in the beginning of the year. And it wasn't Rick though, it was I don't know why. I love this guy too. And for whatever reason, I always forget his name when I'm talking live. I need to put his name like on my wall somewhere. Can't think of his name right now. Anyway, Rick Weber's friend. So the bottom line is they were like, we raised our rates, and then it affected us. Eric Massengill. Thank you, Ratbone. And it affected us. So it wasn't a good idea to raise our rates. And they did it at the beginning of the year. I'm like, I raised my rates halfway through the season, and nobody batted an eye. Every situation is different. So when I say, raise your rates, and I make videos and I put them on my IG or whatever, you have to be smart enough. I know that's a lot. You have to be smart enough to understand where you are and understand the people you are selling to. There is fear. There's fear that comes from, oh my God, should I raise my rates? But then there's also that, well, I think I understand who my buyers are and what they're willing to spend. And that's the key. So when you are, raising your rates, you can test the waters. You can test the waters easily to find out, if people are willing to pay what you have. So the way we got around it, first off, we raised our rates across the board. All across the board, just because it just costs more money to do stuff. We all know this. Everybody's done that. Transportation costs, all that stuff. But you can still raise your rates just for the quality of work you do. Now, we had two different price points. So it gave people the option to either go with the higher price or stay with the lower price and get, whoever we select for the price, and didn't have a problem with it. We knew that there was some latitude there. We knew that we could raise our rates. You get what I'm saying? So, but you got to know these things. People who just raise their rates and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm not working anymore. Well, come on, be smart about it. Be smart about it. I mean, you are running a business. So I mean, I know that dumb people run businesses. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but the fact is, you got to be smart in business. Okay. All right, let's see here. Rhyme Sport says, how do you start a DJ company like yours? Well, um, hmm. That's hard. That's really hard to say. Because it's a combination of things. It's a combination of business smarts, timing, when you start your business up, quality of work, consistency, and the ability to do the ability to run a business. When we first went off on our own, and we were fortunate, so we worked for another multi-op, my partner and I. I left about a year before he did, maybe a year and a half. He was still emceeing there. I'd quit because my wife was a farmer rep and I had a full time job, so didn't really need it. But there was a limit on how high I could go in my job. He decided to leave about a year later, and the reason that he decided to leave, and this is probably something that everybody should know out there, um, a lot of people will leave your company because they don't feel respected. They don't feel like the money you're paying matches the quality of what they're bringing in or the people that they're bringing in. I'd like to get paid more money. And the company basically said, no, no, you're easily replaceable. We can replace you any day of the week. So no, we're not going to raise your rates. So then he was like, well, if they're not going to raise my rates and they're just milking me for what I am, I might as well go off on my own. So we already had a little bit of a buzz to our name to begin with. People wanted him. So it was easier that way. But buzz is one thing. You still got to be able to kick ass and do the job because there's companies out there that are far more established that have that consistency. That consistency is key. That have that consistency because what happens is when people decide whether or not they want to book you or they want to book another company, what are some of the things you always say? Well, okay, they're cheaper. Okay, that's a plus, but they haven't been around as long. Okay, that's a minus. This company has been doing it for 15 years consistently. Every time we go to a party, it's at least decent or if not good or great. That's a plus. We've only seen this other company, one or two times. We have no idea how good they're going to be by the time we get around to our party. Are they even going to be in business by the time they get to our party? All of these factors come into play. So you got to be good. Um, so that was our thing. We were good. And then when we expanded and brought on somebody else, they had to be good and so on and so forth. So there's a lot to be involved here. We don't talk about what a DJ gets paid. We never do that in public. Come on, man. You know better than that. That's just something we don't do. And the reason why is because everybody's different. Not everybody gets paid the exact same amount because there's different qualities. There's different needs. There's okay. How do you minimize previous workers for a company turning into competition? Well, which is I think I might have said that, but I'll say it again though. If you want to minimize people going off and starting their own company, um, pay them what they're worth. Pay them what they're worth, and then they won't have the interest to start their own company because starting a business is a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and I have a lot of people that are like, I don't want to do like I thought about going off on my own, and I don't want to deal with clients. I don't want to deal with the drama. I don't want to deal with party planners. Like there's a lot. You have to be a different kind of person to do this. As a one man, as a single op, a lot easier. I get that. But when you're doing multi ops, it's a different kind of energy. Different kind of energy that you have to have. So that's how you keep them. You pay them what they're worth. And when we came back from from the pandemic, we had a lot of people like, yeah, I'm not making enough. I'm this and that. I'm like, well, look, we are not charging people more, so we can't just pay you. And that's when we decided, you know, um, let's open up, let's raise our rates because we got to pay. We're going up because everybody wanted more money. Everybody. So that's how you get around it. Um, Fendo says, "What's the best time for a solo DJ to start as an LLC?" I mean, in all honesty, you should probably be an LLC. The moment you got money coming in, you know. But I know people like to wait and roll it into their own socials, which is fine. But if you roll it into your own socials, you're potentially missing out on a lot of write offs that you could have. So things, but everybody's different. I think an LLC should be pretty immediate. All right, let me go back up here real quick because I know there's a lot of people chatting, and I know I probably missed some. All right, let's see here. Okay. Do we think there will be a new version of the DDJ 1000? Soon. I don't know. I mean, soon. That's a relative term. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be a new version of all the popular products. Businesses aren't stupid enough to say, "Hey, the DDJ 1000 was one of our top sellers. We shouldn't update that ever again." That's just bad business. That's why there are sequels, because they make a lot of money. So people are, you know, uh, people want that. Um, I mean, look, right now we know that there's a new Rane product. Don't ask me what it is or isn't. I don't know. But there's a new Rane product because obviously with stems, and we can talk about stems. If you were on my Twitch channel Tuesday, we went into a little bit more detail. But I won't play. I don't play commercial music on YouTube. That's just what I don't do. Which is why Twitch is for that time. If Jamaican anything, I'm going to put any music related stuff on Twitch. Okay. Okay, so I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Uh I wish I could say that it was like sounds like you need some DJs. I employ um I employ about 80 bar mitzvahs. That's where I'm comfortable. When you start to get up to like 8, 9, and 10, I'm nervous as shit, man. Nervous. But yeah, 5 to 7. That's my number. All right. Let's try to fly through some of these questions. If I didn't get to it. We're not there yet. We're not there. But maybe one day. I mean, I make a joke about it all the time. I'm located in Southern California. You guys should know where I'm located. Southern California. I make this joke all the time. I'm like, why can't I just stream my DJ sets? All I need is one small camera on the party, and I can stream my DJ set and see what's going on in the party. That's all I really need. I can read a room without being there, but we're not there. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying. Okay. Like bring a big projector. Yeah, not gonna happen. This is facts. I haven't had one DJ that no matter how skilled they are, that have come to uh, a bar mitzvah and was like, I got this. Not one DJ. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of DJs out there that are amazing that get intimidated by bar and bar mitzvahs because there's so many little details and there's so many things you have to know. And when there's just a lot, there's a lot going on. I take it for granted now because I've been doing it, but I've had like strong DJs come in because we always say, "Hey, come see the show. Figure out if it's even something you want to do before we take the time to put the work in." And they'll come, and then like afterwards, they're like, "Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't. It's too much responsibility." All right. Let's see. Jason Gardner in the building. What's going on? All right. Moving fast. Trying to get through this. Can I pull this? I'm always scared to pull this because I don't want it to pull out. Pause. Okay. Sorry, I'm moving through this as quickly as possible. I'm trying to see the ones I answered. Uh, Vinyl Touch says, at an event, how do you deal with people thinking you are their jukebox and being disrespectful and even racist about it? I don't tolerate it. I mean, look, you only have um one client, and maybe in that client you got I don't know, a bride and a groom, and maybe like a, I don't know, a mother who paid for it, or you got kids. I only listen to the client. Anybody else can kiss my butt. Honestly, and if you're gonna disrespect me, I'm definitely not gonna listen to you. You're definitely not getting anything played. So, you know, yeah. Uh, Cupid says, are there any tax breaks for having employees? Do you provide healthcare? We don't provide healthcare. We're smaller than that. Um, Thinking about hiring for two positions for my business, but don't know the unknown. Look, everybody is a technically a write off, but there are more things you need to pay for when you bring people in. There's now workers comp, and I mean, you should already have some sort of business insurance for DJing, because most venues will require you to have. Serato Stem says Slow Bridge. Yes. William Malcolm, thank you, appreciate that. Okay. Interested to see the alleged Rane One too. What would be your wish list for it for a Rane One MK2? I think I've talked about this. I think I talked about it last week too, but really quickly. Um, should have internal effects. The ins and outs on the Rane One have always been fantastic. Uh, the platters are great. Needs to have internal effects. They need to stop routing their audio through USB first and actually route it through, because I don't love the crossfader, and I don't care how good you are, it still sucks. Um, there's just there's a delay. Um, it needs to have internal effects. I don't care if it's 4-channel or 2-channel. It doesn't bother me at all, because 2-channel's been just fine. And it would be great if they threw engine in there also, but we'll see. Now that we're moving into stems, more people are going to have to start doing dedicated stems controllers. It'd be great if what I want to touch more than a. I don't really want to touch any buttons. That sounds silly. What I mean is, on my main 8 pads, I want those pads to be what those pads are. Like with the Rev 7 having the buttons up top, if you can dedicate those just to stems, like that's the best scenario for me. I want to be able to mute my stems when I want to without having to go through, multiple buttons, because we're DJing. You might want to fly through. If I need to, if I'm rocking a track and I want to do the vocal echo out, I don't want to have to. And internal effects, an actual a sampler knob, that would be great, like an actual one. Silent Q, which I know now Silent Q is mappable, but I'd love to have its own dedicated button. But not much. Okay. If I'm buffering like crazy, I'm sorry, guys. It's I mean, it looks like my. I mean, I got 442 up, so I should be fine. But I never put too much stock in it. Things happen. Okay. All right. Yeah, Chris. I don't know. I don't know that one. I know we do in California. So, and also, depending on the state, California is really aggressive, which is why people leave California. Because we have to pay for everything. You got LLC fees. You have business license fees in every city you work in. It's a lot. Workers' comp. It's just a lot. Okay. Okay. Um, All right, I'm gonna go to the bottom and then come back up again. Hey, sweet chat 69. Let's go. All right. Let's see here. What vehicle do you event? So like my trusses can be built. If I can bring my bow system, I'm about to buy a bigger truck in all honesty, so I can haul my SRXs. Because for those, I need to have a van, and so that's a little bit annoying. Um, so yeah, I still rent. U-Hauls have insurance on them, makes it easy. I don't have to worry about it. We don't have a fleet of vehicles. We have two vehicles. Um, so yeah, yeah. Ask the question again if I don't see it. Pioneer 1000 SRT VT coming soon. Your thoughts? My thoughts? My thoughts are cool. If it's coming soon, I have no idea. I have NDAs, so known or not known, can't really say. But yeah, like we're gonna see updates across the board for everything. You know, when and where and how, I have no idea. You know, just enjoy the ride. Okay. Uh, that's buffering all the way in the bottom. Yeah, I don't see any indications that it should be buffering. Let's see if I can turn off the Wi-Fi. Maybe there's a conflict because I see it looks like it's only on the YouTube side. Am I buffering on the Twitch side too? Let's see if I can turn off my Wi-Fi. I don't even see an issue. It looks like it's blocked out, so it looks like we're going hardwired. So don't know. Um, yeah. So if I am, I apologize. Can't get around that. I did find my ceiling fan remote. That's why you don't see the light. This light right here is for this guy. Haven't figured out how. Now you can see my bright face. I don't even know why I'm wearing this hat. Speaking of bar mitzvahs, this is a bar mitzvah hat here, Club J. But it's really really comfortable. Uh, bar mitzvah clients spare no expense. they, every shirt I've ever gotten from a bar mitzvah, every hat, it's all like top quality. Like going to a store and buying it there. Okay. All right. Did you find Twitch is not buffering? Okay. Is there a software controller that we will listen to music live and make a scene for your lights? Maybe like come out of an aux in the end. Is there a software controller that will listen to music live and make a scene for your lights? Well, yeah, that's uh, Sound Switch. Sound Switch. There's a couple of other ones, but Sound Switch is the universal one that will take your music that you're playing, and will you just tell it what your light fixtures are, and it will do its thing. So, Sound Switch. And there's a couple of other ones out there, and in all honesty, like even like Light Rider will take the iPad microphone, and it will run itself too off the iPad microphone. So there's a lot of options out there. Sound Switch is the cleanest as far as just pulling in your music, even if you haven't coded. All right, Kid Cupid says any benefit to having employees. I answered that one, but you're saying I was buffering. Okay. Um, there is no real you're not going to see any real write-offs. You can write off the pay that you give your employees, but then you have workers comp, and then you have other things that you have to pay for, by having those employees. Just the fact that you get hit with taxes when you're paying your payroll. You pay payroll, not payroll taxes. That's a part of life, but you do have payroll taxes, and then like processing. So everything costs more. So like if you're paying your employee $400, that doesn't factor in the fact that you're still paying the payroll taxes to have that employee. Now, again, it's a write off, but you're not seeing the issue. Um, it's a write off, but you still have to pay the money. So money still needs to be made. You know, that's the thing about write offs. It's like that Schitt's Creek uh, thing that always pops up on IG a lot. And he's like, uh, the dad's like, "Oh, you bought this stuff?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, how'd you pay for it?" He goes, "It's a write off." He goes, "Okay, but how are you gonna pay for it?" He goes, "It's a write off. We don't pay for it. It's a write off." Like, okay, but you know, who pays for it? It's like the write off people. I don't know. You know, so it's just write offs are good, but you still got to pay the money. Okay. Robert Hearn says, "How do you like the Dead End Prime 4? What are the pros and cons of the controller?" That's a question that could be answered in minutes long. It's very thorough, breaks down everything. But you quickly answer your question. I do like the Dead End Prime 4. I think it's a very, very good controller. But check out the video. If anybody's on YouTube, can just post the video, that'd be great. But it's in my Terry's Gear reviews, and I believe you can just search Prime 4, and it'll pop right up. And really, because it's a very, very long process. Okay. I've always been hesitant to hire and work with them, let them DJ, watch how they DJ, watch how they deal with stress, because that's a big thing, and go from there. But we don't just send random DJs out. The only time we've ever sent a DJ that hasn't worked with us is when we know like they are amazing on their own. They have their own DJ, stuff that they work on. Like we have a few snapback guys that work for us, and legitimately we know they're professionals. This is what they do. So didn't have any issues. But then we also didn't send them to like super big bar mitzvahs. We send them to the easy ones. We send them to the corporate events or to the birthday parties, things like that, because we know that that's just something that everybody does. Bar mitzvahs aren't necessarily that thing. Okay. All right. Back on here for Thursday. Yeah, just for today. We're testing out YoloBox, which is why there might be a little bit of buffering. We're testing out the YoloLive with the new features before. After this, you won't see. It'll be Tech Tuesday for Twitch and Tech Thursday for YouTube. And then what'll end up happening is probably my interviews are gonna fall on Twitch on Tuesdays. And then if I cut them up and then repost them, they will repost to YouTube. So you got to be on both. You got to be on both. And I don't think that's a lot to ask for all the quality of service I'm providing you guys, for the knowledge, for the buffering. Need DJs in NYC? Maybe. I don't live in New York, so couldn't answer that. All right. Ever use the Beat Junkies? Yeah. Actually, Beat Junkies are a friend of ours. We go back. But yeah, I use Beat Junkie because I don't want to. I want to be able to focus on everybody. So shouldn't affect you, Anthony. You're on YouTube. And because of this whole buffering thing. So in order to do both streams at the same time, in order to do that, you have to have a service that either you're paying for, like Melon, or what's the stream one, the other big one, that does both of them, or the YoloBox or Restream. That's the only way to do them at the same time, or Ecamm and do it that way. There's just so many little glitches with running them at the same time. It's easier to just run them separately. And the conversation between Twitch and between YouTube are completely different. They're just different. The questions people ask are different. Use Beat Junkies for DJs. Beat Junkies are some of the best out there. They're not cheap, but they have a really good program. So I wouldn't tell anybody not to use them. So I had to move it. It started because I was shooting um, the Maker's Mark commercial ad. I was shooting that, and you're not allowed to have anything that has any logos or whatever. And I didn't want that to trigger people, and then they come back and tell me no. So I got rid of everything that I could that was in the way. But it's literally sitting right there. But after I started to pull all my cords out and rewire because I'm running out of plugs because there's a lot of crap, and then I realized that I'm reviewing gear. So I'll have like a standard power plug so I can just put it on here and plug it right in real quick. I'm taking up a lot of space. So it's coming. It's coming back. It's literally right there. But like the plug for the Cleveland On Air where it actually plugs into. Sorry, I'm hearing screaming. And I don't like to hear screaming. But the plug is all the way where my other computer is. So oh, okay. Hold on. Someone's at my door. I got to figure out what's going on. All right. So sit tight for 1 second.
De-energizers.
Coming right up. I'm sorry, did you say 20 C Energizer batteries?
D, not C, D.
D, not C.
D, D! Learn to speak English first, all right? D!
Look, wait, hold up. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure I was giving you the right batteries. Wait, hold up. You're not buying it for that ghetto blaster, are you? Come on, man. It's 2021. I got something better for you. I don't know if you know this, but in 2021, technology has changed. Now, instead of 21, technology has changed. Now, instead of using that big old ghetto blaster, I can recommend to you the Mackie Thump Go. That's right, all battery powered, rechargeable, multiple ins and outs, Bluetooth compatible. And how does it sound? You think that thing sounds good? Wait till you hear this.
You all right, man. You all right.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Want me to wrap it up? You want to? Neighbor's dog barks, and when she hears me, she starts to bark. See, so I'm gonna have to shut the window, because I can't have that. So, oh, see, that's annoying. So hold on 1 minute, peeps. We'll be right back. Do I have a we'll be right back? I did have a we'll be right back. See, I got all this stuff and I don't even use half the stuff. So anyway, all right, back to the comments. Racist dog. Diamond Lee says, do you prefer Mackie Thump over the Bose S1? Well, I haven't used the Bose S1, so I can't really tell you which one is better. I can tell you I'm a big fan of the Mackie Thump Goes. So if the Mackie Thump Goes are even close to the Bose S1 or vice versa, I think it's really, really impressive, and they really, really like it. So I haven't had any issues. Sound quality's good. It's a good product. It really is a good product. Okay. Our market for standalones is not as big as what people think they are. I think that standalones are great. And if you're just you, then a standalone, it works perfectly. I don't know that the world thinks that way. You know, it's really hard to convince a DJ that, and it's funny because a computer is the same thing, but it's really hard to convince a DJ that, like, oh, you don't need that computer anymore. You don't need it. Everything's on here. You just take it with you and you're good. Like, it's really hard. So it's just a matter of time. I think that once, I'm telling you, if they can come out with a Prime 4 Rane One hybrid, it's going to sell like crazy. As long as Serato is still an option in the Prime 4 Rane One. If they do what they've been doing with everything else and making it virtual DJ only and engine, I don't think it's going to work. So that's my dream, you know. But having said that, use the Prime 4 because of the size. I don't like the size. I like it to be a little more movable. Okay. Prion Joni in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Make sure you guys are following Prion Joni. He's got a lot of good things going on, and he's a huge Star Wars fan. And if you're a huge Star Wars fan and you really want to know everything about Star Wars, so we're all there. We're all there. But that's my guy, though. That is my guy. He's not inviting me to the wedding, but he's still my guy. I'm just saying. And I think, yeah. Anyway. All right. I'm going back. I was going to say something and then I'm like, I'm not going to put that in. I'm not going to put that to paper and let it be a part of my life for the rest of my life. So we're not going to do that. All right. Speculation is that, where did it go? All right, come on. Beat Junkies needs a mobile app, and it would be over the top. Yeah, I mean, they're a little old school, which is kind of the way it should be. Like, you know, their website's a little old looking. Like, it's old school music, so it kind of makes sense. Okay. I saw a comment and then it disappeared on me. I don't know where it is. Diamond Lee, thanks. Bose One costs $600. And Thumbgo, yeah. Agreed. Yeah. Sims is going to change all hardware. Also, COVID. God, now this thing is jumping around. Maybe it's a Twitch thing. More people are going to go back to. Also, COVID not going away. More people are going to be going to back to events. I mean, I've been inside for a while now, and yeah, it is what it is. Like, we're just moving forward now. Stems is going to change hardware. Yes. I know virtual DJ people. I know algorithm DJ people. I know. You guys have had it. I know. You know, I made one mistake where I said, and it wasn't even a mistake. It was just it was an uneducated statement. 15-minute video. All they heard was that, because all of my comments say the exact same thing. You know, you can do that in virtual DJ and it's had it and blah, blah, blah. It's not the first. And I'm just like, okay, is it possible that you guys can just see something as a whole and then just kind of allow things? Because I'm spending more time literally writing in. Yeah, guys, I know. Yeah, the 30 other people said it. I even pinned a comment breaking it down where they saw that, yeah, I saw it. We had a conversation about it. I acknowledged that, I didn't realize that they had that in there. And people are still making comments. I have more comments on that than anything else. It's exhausting. Virtual DJ users, you guys are exhausting. I haven't had one algorithm DJ person. They don't have issue. They're just like, whatever. You virtual DJ people, man. Anyway, Art Noir, thanks for hanging out today. What am I, chop liver? Professor BX in the building. I didn't see you, man. Sorry. You guys should also be following Professor BX. You know, Professor BX. If you guys don't know who he is, he's like both Preon and PJ. I said Preon and PJ like they're two different people. Both Preon and Professor BX both work for Pioneer DJ. Um, uh, Professor BX has his hand in a lot of products that he will never talk about online, but he has his hand in a lot of products, and uh, he's another one. And I lost my train of thought about what I was going to say about him, but I'm sure it wasn't nice. I'm kidding. You're his repair guy. Same thing. We'll just leave it at that. But I'm really excited. It's been a while since I've touched certain gear. I didn't realize how long it had been until I went back to the original text. Oh, I'm like, oh man, that was DJ Expo, before the DJ Expo. It feels like ages ago. I think he's selling gear on the black market. Serato is not the only DJ software. Yes, exactly. I know this. We know this. But I kid you not. Anytime you talk about virtual DJ, there is an automatic, strange, like, bias that comes in. Like, people are like, well, this sounds really biased that you would say this. Like, it's not biased that I said that I literally said, I believe Serato was the first to do this. That's not biased. It's not a biased comment. That's an uneducated comment. That's different. And I didn't say, oh my God, virtual DJ sucks. Serato's so much better. I didn't say any of that. But that's the way virtual DJ people hear what I'm saying. I'm always biased. It's the same thing when I talk about Rane products and I have a critique. Every single person, all the Rane guys, you're Pioneer fanboy, like no matter what. Like they don't have issues. I talk about Pioneer issues. Why can't I talk about Rane issues? Am I allowed? Yes. And again, I love it for what they are. I honestly, like the way it works. I'm a big fan of their passion. I am total big fan. It doesn't mean that actually, like, I don't want that. So how do I say this to where I can prevent that part of it? All right. Serato is the iPhone of DJ software. It's the big dog, which is why it's a big deal. So, funny thing is, I actually had that in my video, and I took it out. Because I knew that was gonna just ruffle some people's feathers. I knew that. That's how we have to work now, because that's my feeling on it. And not necessarily just Serato, but that's kind of the way they are. When it first came out, I talked to Serato. They're like, yeah, it's not really ready. Yeah, it's not. We have to operate on a different level. We can't just throw things out there. People, hold us to a higher standard. Because remember, when virtual DJ stems came out, and they were first, and I'm not talking about Tractor, because Tractor was not the same thing. So people need to stop telling me that Tractor did it first. No, they did not. Production stems are not the stems that we're talking about. So, enough said. And I got a video coming out on that too. On IG. So make sure you guys are following me on IG. I'm telling you, all my jokes are on IG. All that stuff, goes there. I got to move that around. So make sure you guys are following me on IG. Okay. All right, let's see here. Would you be looking forward to Rane having their own physical stem buttons? I would look forward to everybody having their own physical stem buttons. Doesn't just mean Rane, all of them. I need stem buttons on all of them. And the little picture we saw where it said, or just true instrumental. You can get away a little more with just instrumental, but the acapella, if there are any issues, you're gonna see it then and there. Then and there. So I would have rather had more buttons so I could say, no, just take the bass line out. Just leave the drums and the drums and the vocals only. So hopefully you can kind of map those buttons to whatever you need. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about this because this is a thing. This is a big thing, and I'm going to bring it up now, and hopefully we can just move on from this. This statement right here, VDJ had, this is the stem effects because everybody's bragging about the stem effects in Serato DJ, and people have been coming up and saying, no. So virtual DJs had these things in forever. Okay. Here's the issue. And this is the problem with virtual DJ as a whole. And I've told virtual DJ about this. This is nothing new. I'm not saying anything that is slanderous. These are just facts. The problem with virtual DJ and the difference between virtual DJ and Serato. Virtual DJ is for the tech person. Serato is for the artist. Now, I am not saying that a virtual DJ person can be an artist or a Serato person can be a tech person. I'm not saying that they can't. I'm saying that the methodology, the way that they think is based upon that. So when Serato does something, it's designed with the user in mind. You know what? They don't want to have to go through all this. We're just going to make a little radio knob here. You know what? They probably would like to have something to echo out. Let's just make that effect a standard in the system. We're not going to give them too much stuff because it's just going to confuse them. So let's just make it standard, the most popular things that we think are going to work. Virtual DJ is like, no, give them everything. Everything. They can decide. We don't want to hold them back. Just give them everything. And I truly believe that when I think it was Virtual DJ 2017, could have been 16, when they came out with their new one, they came out with 3 different layouts. That was because of me. They had a beginning layout, a middle layout, and and a professional layout. I truly believe that was because of me, because that was my whole issue with them. Okay. Vent done. So why is there such a cold reception? Do you think they are upset that it hasn't taken the market by storm? Why would it do that when I'm literally in the middle of reading something? Hasn't taken the market by storm since it's got stems. God damn it. Sorry. I wish I could have read the rest of your comment, but it looks like I can't. I know it's somewhere, but I can't read the rest. I believe you're talking about virtual DJ. Why doesn't anybody like it? Why don't people care as much because it's been out and available? Well, I cared. I think I've kind of explained it. Okay. Let's drop down to the bottom and then come back up so I can kind of get caught up here. VDJ is easy to use for broadcasting because it has a broadcasting button. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. DJ South. The problem is not the Tenny. You're hearing Tenny on certain things because certain things should not be broken out. But there's always a way. There's always a way to make it sound better. Always. So start playing with it a little bit. Don't go a cappella. Don't go just instrumental. Leave the drums on and leave the vocals on. And then tell me if you can't hear a difference. Because there's a difference. We have stems. Okay. All right. DJ Dam in the building. What's going on? I don't like this thing, not for the average user, though. I don't like this whole average user thing because it's so funny to me. Because I think that I said this on my Tuesday show on Twitch. that virtual DJ users are more like IT guys. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't a lot of, just regular people using virtual DJ, but because of that back end, because of the fact there's just a lot more stuff you got to do, you have to have a certain level of intelligence that may be different than others. But I think it's not about it being customizable, because you should be able to customize whenever you feel like it. But at the rate, as I said in my virtual DJ review video, I just want to DJ. I'm not trying to make the next Facebook. Okay. All right. I don't want to spend money on a controller until they get it right. What's the chat thoughts on QSC Touch Mix 8? I know it's ancient and seems to be before its time. Nothing wrong with Touch Mix. It's a good piece of gear. Hey man, got to use that SP1 for something. Because I don't use my SP1 at all. All right. Chris says, do DJ businesses often start off as DJ crews, and were DJ crews more common in the past? I think it would be cool if there were more of them. It'd be cool. Yeah. I mean, they're still out there. BJanky still exists. There's still several, but yeah, it's not as big anymore. Probably because there's so much information online that people don't feel like they need to have other people that do it. But the way you get better is by playing and hanging out with people that are better than you, or that have a different vision of what you see out there. Because sometimes you need a different perspective. This is true. The stems only sound good when the mix is separated well overall. A wonky mix makes for horrible stem separation no matter how well Serato does it. Agreed. But the way around it is just leave the drums in. Leave the drums in. I'm waiting to see if Serato will incorporate real stems from producers. No, they won't. Tractor and VDJ do it. This will be perfect. Look, guys, I wish we'd stop stems. Okay, production stems are literally just the breakouts. Okay, so it's an acapella version, a pure acapella, which you can get acapellas right now. You can get instrumentals right now. The whole point is that you shouldn't need, if they can make the software good enough, then that's one file to every 3 files that you used to use. And that's one file to every 3 files that you needed to load in and make sure that people are like, well, I need 3 decks. What do you need three decks for? Well, I have one for the acapella, and then one for the drum beat, and then maybe one for the instrumental, and then one for the other one. So that's why I need 3 to 4 decks. Well, with stems, you don't need 3 to 4 decks, and that's needed to be easy, guys. And we're not trying, the whole point is to not add more files, more stuff to your computer. That's the whole point. Because if that wasn't the point, you might as well just keep downloading acapellas. All right. If Serato fixes the slow opening when you have thousands of MP3s, it's not just thousands of MP3s. It's literally, it just takes a long time. The tech isn't remotely advanced to run 3 decks. You don't need 3 decks. That's my whole point. You would not need 3 decks to run it, because one deck is your acapella, right? And then you have your second deck for the new music, and then you can literally load your next song right on top of the acapella, pop that into acapella 2, and now you have that. So you don't really need 3 decks anymore, is what I'm saying. But I think the systems are strong enough right now because I'm not having any issues on my M1 Pro. I think that other people that are struggling are all on older computers. And when I say older, I know 2019 is not an old computer. I get it. But I'm just saying that because it doesn't work on your Intel, the power is there. It's already proven itself. Now, do they need to optimize it? Absolutely. But maybe the reason that it happens to sound better than the other ones currently, I'm not saying that Virtual DJ or DJ can't make theirs better, but they have had multiple years to get it to the same level, and they have not yet. Okay. So I think that maybe that's why it's taking so much processing power. And if that's the case, it would be now. You know, if you were on the fence, I mean, I've been telling people, you don't need to get the M2, the M1s. Get yourself a refurb M1. You're good to go. You know, those M1 Pros, I'm a huge fan. There has been absolutely nothing that I've thrown at it that it hasn't been able to handle easily. Yeah, there's some buffering on YouTube. I don't know why. So I'm sorry. I have a feeling it has to do with the box, the YoloBox. That's just my thoughts though. Okay. But doesn't the feature produce a file with a separated file in them for Serato via the pre-analysts? Well, it produces a file, but I don't have to pre-analyze with my M1. You understand? So for me, it doesn't really matter because my M1 will take it in stride. So you get a faster computer, this all becomes moot. All right. Do you believe that music producers that make music digitally will accommodate stems in music recordings to make stems sound way better when using DJ controllers? No, I don't think they care because that's not technically the way they wanted it done in the first place. So they don't care. If they want somebody to remix their music, they will give that producer the stems. You know, they don't want some random, but there will be some. What and also, sorry, I'm listening for dogs. When dogs bark, they're either going two places. They're going to the front door because there's somebody at my front door, or they are going outside because like the pool guy's here or something. Okay, back to comments. What time is 11:55? I have a few more minutes. My take is, Richard, that I have a damn video on stems that came out 4 minutes after Mojax's, where I talk about stems. I have Ring Doorbell. I do. But it's later on. I don't always check it when I'm talking to you guys. Whatever is causing you to buffer is getting stronger. That's a sign for me to get off, is what that is. So what I was saying was, yeah, I have a video on it. I already explained what I thought. And I have an IG on it. And I say it right in the beginning of my IG. So apparently there is a disconnect. Guys, you need to be following me on all of my social media. You need to follow me on IG, specifically on IG, you know, TikTok too, and on YouTube. All of my content is on YouTube and IG. If something's come out and you're asking me for an opinion, I probably already have a video on it in one of those forms. So do me this favor and make sure you are following me on both. The stuff that I put on IG does not come on YouTube. So it's completely different content. We might be talking subject-wise the same, but the content, the format, different. So please, pretty please, make sure you're following me on all of them. Okay? That's key. All right. Yeah, DJ Unique, you're absolutely correct. It runs like butter. Then he's moving back to YouTube. Oh, I see. So Jay is trying to capitalize on me. I get that. By the way, in case you guys didn't know, I'm going to be on Jay Book's channel, his YouTube and Twitch channel. at 4 p.m. Pacific. Seriously, like the moment his show starts, he has a little timer and turns it on. When that alarm goes off, he doesn't even say goodbye. It literally, the channel just goes down. So make sure you guys are following. My internet speed is not the problem. Because right now I have almost 3,000 kilobits going up right now. So it's not that. It's 100% just something that's going on. It's the data throughput, and this is a new update. So it's probably that YOLO Live might be having a little problem with doing the dual stream, which is why I'm getting off of it. Because, like I said, the only way to dual stream is if you're using like an Ecamm and I don't use my MacBook to stream. I have my PC right here. That's my main PC, and I don't like using Restream to stream to dual stream. So I think it's just better just to go back. And technically speaking, somebody asked, why not go to both? Technically speaking, what I'm doing is actually against the rules. I'm a Twitch partner, so I'm not supposed to be dual streaming. I'm supposed to. It's fine if I just stream and then post it to YouTube right afterwards, but I'm not supposed to be dual streaming. So that's another thing. So we'll get it all fixed. Next week it'll be fine. I'll be going through OBS, and we won't have any issues. But today is today. So it is what it is. Okay. A couple more questions and I'm out of here. All right. I'm a fan of the longer shows. I appreciate that, because if you weren't a fan of the longer shows, remarking a learned thing that I have here. Okay. I am an introvert at heart, which is funny because I used to have a live band. I was a front singer, and I never had an issue. Performing wise, I never have an issue. But if you want me to just be that guy that's sitting out there having chats, it's not really my thing. So what that means is, when I'm done with these types of things, when I go to conferences and I'm done, talking to people and smiling and having a good old time, I go back to my room and I am exhausted. Honestly, I wish I were different, but I am not. This is a learned thing. I don't do a lot of small talk. So this is something I have worked on. It's weird, right? It's weird. I know. Don't ask me why. Okay. I was told, haven't checked yet personally, that Twitch now allows streaming to multiple platforms via Twitch. So I don't know about, I don't know that they allow for simultaneous streaming, and I don't know if they allow that for everybody. That could be just, when you're at a certain level. I'll have to check in on it, but, I don't know, 2 different streams. I don't know. It felt really good on, and this is the biggest deal, guys. The biggest deal about dual streaming. I can't put any commercial music on YouTube, or I won't be able to monetize the stream. On Twitch, it's a different element. I'm not monetizing that anyway, so it doesn't really matter if I have some music on there, but I cannot do that with Twitch. So that's a problem. That's another reason why I'm breaking it out, so I can go back to actually playing, music, on other things. Okay, I think tomorrow. So, yeah. So that's where we are. Yeah. All right. I'm trying on DJ Pro, all moving from Record Box. Where's your review on DJ? Damn. You guys are just selfish. I'm a little busy. I cannot do a review on DJ yet because, if Professor BX is still in the building, because I need to be able to test it on one more device. That's why I have not finished my, the only reason, which now is going to change a little bit. It's going to change a little bit because now that Serato has stems, one of the biggest selling factors, and it's not the only factor, okay? Not the only factor, but one of the biggest selling factors was the fact that it had stems and Neuromix was as good as it was. Now with Serato coming out with stems, I know it's still in beta, but I have to imagine in the next, 4 to 6 weeks, it'll be out of beta. It's going to be hard for a lot of people to move over to stems in DJ, I should say. DJ still has a full-on community, okay? Because there's no iPad for Serato, there's no iPhone for Serato or Android for Serato. So there's still a place for DJ. All right. And I believe at NAMM, it was the first year where people were like, I might try DJ, but I think that that's going to disappear a little bit because without stems, the selling aspects are not as great. Now, when I open up DJ and I can start DJing in about 3 seconds because it opens up, you can't get over the fact that Serato is the standard for open format DJs. So I think their window was open. It's not closed, but it's definitely darker. And the sooner that Serato can come out with a better library management, the sooner they can literally just push DJ out. Now, again, there are no iPads and no iPhones. So there's still a place for DJ. Still a place, but not quite the same now, in my opinion. And I could be 100% wrong. I totally could. All right. I'm seeing, I don't know what I'm seeing here. Okay. DJ Jazzy Jeff seems to be overjoyed about Serato stems, so guess it has to be really special. It's good. Okay. I don't like to use words like game changer and all of these things. I mean, I think even people like Jazzy Jeff is limited in what he uses. He doesn't have to be limited, but I think he just chooses to be limited. So for a lot of people, stems weren't an option up until now. So it was necessary. They came out. It's good. It came out, as good as the other ones, which is the most important part. And in some cases, better. And in some cases, worse, depending on, the computer you're using, because it's a resource hog. So they did what they were supposed to do. Okay. A couple more and then I'm out of here. Because I got calls to make. Perhaps you don't do YouTube content for the short term. YouTube content is for the long term. And the money that I make on YouTube is, dependent on the fact that there's people watching the videos. And if none of those videos are being monetized, the number just drops down, like the video I just did for stems, Serato stems. Okay. There's no money in Serato stems. I mean, there's no money. They didn't pay me to do the video. Yes, I get the betas early, but that's about it. Guess what? That video is already at like 26,000 views. That would have been a nice bump, but I use commercial music because you can't really demonstrate Serato stems with stuff that people don't know. It won't work the same. Yeah, I would have gotten the views, but people would have walked away from the video like, it would have been great if he used some commercial music. It would have been great if he used something that I was familiar with. So you have to. So that video, demonetized. That video is going to end up guaranteed with probably, 50 to 60,000 views. I'm not going to make a dime off of it. So, but it's great for people that have not seen me or that don't know about me to get in there and see me and go, oh, hey, let me subscribe to this guy. Because that's what I said. I'm like, guys, the video's not monetized. So please just make sure you hit the like and you hit the subscribe button. And, the numbers are huge on that, which is also why there are not me once me to be a certain way. Like, I get that. You want me to feed it to you in a way that you want to be fed. But the reality is I have to think about me. And all of this is all free content to you guys. This is free information, and I dedicate, 2 to 4 hours a week just in free education. So this, you guys don't. And I don't put that out there as a knock on you guys. That's just a fact that, and it would be amazing, but you don't. So if that were the case, or if my memberships on YouTube were consistent, then I wouldn't care. I would not care about monetizing. And then I could do a lot more, because I cannot spend, a few days on a YouTube video where I'm talking about mixing and all this stuff and not see any returns from it. Now, there are returns because you might up your views, which then ups your subscribers. I understand that. It's a balance. It's a balancing act. So, anyway. Okay. Audio One in the building. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. He said, yeah, I tested it last night and Serato crashed. Because it's a beta. And right when you turn it on, a big ass box says, don't use this in live capacity. So, the only thing it is. Only thing you can do. Okay. Yeah, I know that Mojak said this, that vocal echo was really, really cool. And I will use it too. I'm going to go back to DJing. I will probably DJ maybe on Tuesdays when I don't want to talk. And maybe on Tuesdays when I don't want to talk. And it'll be just a DJ session. That might happen too. Stems will not replace skills. I agree. I see a lot of train wrecks about to happen with stems. I don't know. I kind of think that it's gonna improve mixes, because yes, if people are trying to make mashups, different story. But if people just use stems for transitions, I think you're gonna hear a lot cleaner transitions. Make sure you guys are following Audio One. That's my guy right there. Because I have NDAs with all these major companies. But I don't know. Try them on a 2018 or before MacBook Pro. You know what? I am going to I'm gonna bring my 2012 MacBook out. I'm gonna load it on my XMG and load it on my MacBook, and then we're gonna see how good it is, or how many resources it takes up. We're gonna see. Algorithm needs to do some work on brand to elevate it to feel more professional. They have to sign on from some big names. Well, I mean, look, they do have some big names now. If you haven't seen any of their commercials or ads that have been popping up, I mean, they have Hubert, they have my guy, Angelo. Angelo is there, and he's kind of running things right now. So they're taking a lot of his push. So I think they have the right people in place. Angelo is a super, super smart guy, and I'm actually glad that he got the position in whatever capacity he's in. I mean, we talked, so I don't know exactly where he is, but I know he's got a big place in this, and he's the right person. He's the right person for the job. Okay. Think we are good. Yeah, and shortcut. Correct. Yeah. All the people that are willing to just try new things, he got. So big fan. And look, I mean, I've been DJing with DJ. I've been DJing with Serato, and I've been DJing with Virtual DJ. None of them make me worse. Don't play nice together. They do from a BPM standpoint, basically making sure your Ableton link is active, because it'll at least take the BPMs, but it won't read or play any of your programs or any of that stuff. It's really dumbed down. So I think Like those are the little things that DJ needs to do. It needs to have partnerships with all these other companies so people aren't afraid to make the jump. You know, virtual DJ has its hand in everything. So even if you weren't sure that you want to use virtual DJ, chances are the hardware or the program, they had some way to connect virtual DJ with it and still communicate properly. That doesn't happen. DJ feels really, really isolated. Don't know why. Especially with the fact that they have like, Apple in their back pocket. So as far as optimization is concerned, it's probably the best optimized piece of software out there. But it's not Serato. I can use DJ for weeks on a time. Then I open up Serato and I wait, the 30 seconds for it to actually load up. And then I can start playing music. And I realize, hey, I still love Serato. What did Crooks Rock say? It's like that's what I feel about Serato. Like I love using Serato, but there are things that I absolutely can't stand about it. And the biggest thing is the fact that you can't run multiple streaming services. That's the worst thing out of all the things. Mixed in key is so much more essential now. Green Lantern in the building. What's going on, fam? Make sure you guys check him out. I'm going to be honest with you. Never even used mixing key once. Never used it. Ever. Not my thing. Not my thing. I like using my ears. And I love having all the tools possible, but sometimes I feel like, and I'm not talking about you, obviously, we know that. But sometimes I feel like people, they take an application, I take something, and then it turns into this weird, I have to use it this way. And if I don't use it this way, there's something wrong. Mixing in key. Ha! Yes. Okay. There you go. Fair enough. That I understand. But like too many people now are locked into this whole, it has to be the exact key of what you're DJing. It has to be. So I use mixing key and I run through everything. And then if it's in C minor, I got to mix the next song in C minor. And if it's not in C minor, I can't mix it. You're going to limit how you DJ. You're going to limit your ability to DJ if everything you do, first off, it's going to sound way too identical. And there's no variation to anything you're doing. And also, it's going to limit your ability to get in and out of music because not everything is in key. There are ways to get around things nuts when people are like, well, you can't. Like, you can. We all DJ. Green Lantern will tell you. He's on the Twitch side, so you YouTube people can't see it. Green Lantern will tell you. We all learned on vinyl. We weren't writing down keys on vinyl. We were going, this sounds like this song. So I'm going to put these two records together. All I care about is the BPM. I'm going to write the BPM on the record. That's it. So it's now in key. You get what I'm saying? Like mixed in key is not the end all. True School says BPM or the general vinyl, or the general vibe. I'm more about the vibe. I gotta post the video because I think I did it, but I haven't edited it yet. This whole mixed in key thing where people are like, well, that's slightly out of key. You need to push that up 2 semitones. Guess what? The only people that care about that it's off by 2 semitones are DJs. There is no person in the dance floor that stops because the song was off by 2 semitones. Not one person. Sometimes we forget who we're playing for. Green Lantern said, downside is a horrible mashup era. Oh my God, is it going to be bad? People are going to be mixing everything together. Everything. I'm gonna take In the Club and then take Barbra Streisand and then put that on top of each other, and then I'm gonna take Fleetwood Mac and put it over a Snoop beat. Like, oh God, please guys, don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh, it's gonna be bad. Oh, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be so bad. Yeah, mashup redemptions. Oh man. Okay, no, I'm actually okay with that. I'm okay with mashup redemptions. I'm okay with that. That's fun. Like I like the channels right now that are coming up with like worst mashup yet. Yeah, those are the ones I want to hear. Those are ones. Now, because look, I think we've all been, layering beats and stuff, but remember, that was a big thing. What was that, like 2013, somewhere around there, where all of a sudden everybody was making mashups, everything. Now I know they're trying to make a comeback because of all this TikTok stuff, TikTok and, people like, Mr. Wired Up and all that stuff. Like, I know it's a thing, but every time I drop a TikTok mashup, there's absolutely no interest from what I've seen. Yeah. It's very hard to be DJ AM. Damn near impossible. DJ Gecko is a master of mashing up cumbias and hip hop. I didn't say that it was impossible. And I don't know DJ Gecko. But I didn't say it was impossible. I mean, I think as DJs, anytime you blend and you do longer blends, you're essentially doing mashups. Now you can just remove some of the conflicting elements. That's it. It shouldn't change what we do, but I know people are going to go crazy and they're going to get crazy on it. But it should not change what you do. The only thing you should do is just make it a little cleaner. Like I have a track. What was I do? I did. I have a rolling Calvin Harris Sade track that I always do during like cocktail hour, and it's always worked. But if you don't remove elements in like cocktail hour, and it's always worked. But if you don't remove elements at certain points in the song, it will start to conflict. Okay? So now I can just drop the beat and Sade or vice versa, and it'll sound really, really good. That's what it's for, in my opinion, and making transitions from one to the next. So it's super clean. Or if I'm making sweeping transitions where I need to go from, 110 beats per minute to say 130, sync button, and a loop, and you can do so much. So those are the types of things that I would say. DJ Fajili says, hey, I'm using the new Rev 7 and can I get Serato software effects to work? Any idea? So if you're using the Rev 7, the software effects are going to be on the right buttons, not the left buttons. The left buttons are for internal. The right buttons are for Serato effects. So you have to make sure that the Serato effect is chosen. So it's on. You got to actually activate it and then make sure all of your controls are the same. But that's why. It's one side or the other. Okay. All right. I think. What do you think about? I love that music. I don't have a problem with it. I've only listened to it. I've never played it on a party because I don't have the crowd for it. But it's good. Okay. All right. I think I am done. Most Latin beats. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. We seem to be very focused on cumbia right now. Are you the cumbia DJ? It's okay if you are. Just let us know in the chat. Okay. One weird mixing and key compromise are DJs who change key in the middle of their playing track so they can bring it in the next song. Exactly. Like, okay, give you a perfect example. Let's say I'm mixing a song, right? And then it's in key, and then I go and then I transition out. Now I want to bring that song back to its original key. People hear that more than they hear that it's off key when you're mixing. Remember, next week, Tuesday, Twitch only. If there's going to be any music played, it's going to be on Twitch. We will continue Tech Thursday as always on the YouTube side, and we'll test it for a while, and we'll see. If I don't like it, we can always go back. But we're going to test this whole 2-day thing. I didn't feel like I was getting enough from just one day. So, and I also felt like the YouTube people are certain people and the Twitch people are certain people. So it's nice to be able to kind of break them up a little bit. But besides that, we're going to get out of here. So let's see who we're going to raid on the Twitch side here before I have to start busting my butt. 12:30. Let's raid. Oh, you know what? Queso's on. Let's raid DJ Queso. If I still have mods in the chat, let's raid DJ Queso. Besides that, yeah, we're gonna see J-Book. Oh, by the way, speaking of, make sure you guys are following both on YouTube or Twitch. We're going to be dual streaming today. I'm on the J-Book show. Jay, you see him right there. We're going to be doing an interview or time 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, obviously. And come hang with us. Come hang with us. Let's help each other. All right, y'all. Enjoyed it. Let's make sure the raid is going through. Yes, it is. We're gonna hook up Queso. That's my dude. He picked me up from the airport in Texas and then gave me COVID. But still. on YouTube. I got a really big promotion coming out soon. Really big promotion. Some lucky person's going to be very, very happy. We'll just leave it at that. All right, y'all. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day. As always, we'll talk soon. I can get to my thing.